There is a moment that happens to almost every woman healing from a broken relationship. You are doing fine. You are getting through your day, maybe even smiling a little more than last week. And then, out of nowhere, a memory shows up. A song, a smell, a place you used to go together, and suddenly you miss him. Not the version of him who hurt you, the version who held your hand like you were the only person in the room. If this has happened to you, I want you to know something clearly. Missing him does not mean you made a mistake by leaving. It does not mean he was actually good for you. And it definitely does not mean you are weak for feeling this way. What you are experiencing has a name, and understanding it can take away so much of the shame that comes with it. It is called a trauma bond. It is not a character flaw. It is not proof that you loved wrong. It is simply what happens when your nervous system was exposed, over and over, to a cycle of closeness and distance, warmth and coldness, comfort and fear. Think about how it actually felt in the relationship. In the beginning, he probably made you feel like you had never been seen so clearly by anyone. He remembered small details. He said the things you had been waiting your whole life to hear. Your body learned, very quickly, to associate him with safety and excitement at the same time. Then, slowly, something shifted. The warmth became less consistent. Maybe there was criticism disguised as honesty. Maybe there was silence used as punishment. Maybe there were apologies that never quite turned into change. And here is the part almost no one talks about. Every time the warmth came back after a cold or painful period, your brain did not register it as normal. It registered it as relief, as reward, as proof that if you just held on a little longer, you would get the good version of him back. This is not weakness. This is biology, intermittent reinforcement. Receiving love unpredictably instead of consistently creates one of the strongest attachment patterns a human being can experience. It is the same mechanism that keeps people addicted to slot machines. Not because losing feels good, but because the unpredictability of occasionally winning keeps the brain hooked, searching, hoping. So when you miss him now, you are not missing the man who hurt you. You are missing the relief you felt on the days it didn't hurt. You are missing the hope that things could go back to how they were in the beginning. That hope was real to you, even if the man behind it was never fully real at all. I know it feels confusing to grieve someone who caused you pain. Society doesn't really teach us how to hold both truths at once. That a person could have hurt you deeply, and that you can still miss pieces of what you had. But healing does not require you to stop missing him completely. Not right away. Healing requires you to understand why you miss him, so that missing him stops controlling your decisions. In the next part, we are going to go deeper into exactly what happens inside your mind and body during the cycle, and why breaking it takes more than willpower alone. For now, I want you to sit with this thought. You are not broken for missing someone who was not safe for you. You are human, and your nervous system did exactly what it was trained to do. If this is speaking to something you have been carrying quietly, take a moment to subscribe to this channel. This space is here for women exactly like you, working through the same confusing, painful, and ultimately healing journey. You are not alone in this, and there is more understanding waiting for you here. Let's talk about what actually happens inside your body during this cycle, because once you can see it clearly, it becomes so much easier to stop blaming yourself for feeling stuck. When the relationship was in its warm phase, your brain released dopamine and oxytocin, the same chemicals responsible for bonding, pleasure, and connection. These are powerful. They are the same chemicals a mother's brain releases when bonding with her newborn. So when he was affectionate, attentive, loving, your body was not just enjoying the moment. It was chemically bonding to him, layer by layer. Then came the cold phase, the distance, the criticism, the silence, maybe even cruelty. During this phase, your body released cortisol and adrenaline, the stress hormones tied to fear and survival. Your nervous system moved into a state of alert, trying to figure out what went wrong and how to fix it, how to get back to safety. Here is where it gets complicated. When he came back warm again, even for a little while, your body experienced a flood of relief. That relief felt intensely good, almost euphoric, because it followed a period of stress. This is the trauma bond cycle. Warmth, then fear, then relief, over and over. And every single time that cycle repeats, the bond gets stronger, not weaker. Your brain starts to crave the relief phase so badly that it minimizes or forgets how painful the fear phase actually was. This is why, now that you are away from him, your mind might keep replaying only the good memories, the trip you took together, the way he looked at you across the table, The night he stayed up with you when you couldn't sleep. Your brain is not lying to you, but it is being selective because it is still searching for that relief it became addicted to. This is also why logic alone doesn't seem to help. You can make a list of every reason he was wrong for you. You can remember every hurtful thing he said. And still, some nights you miss him anyway. That is not a contradiction. That is exactly how trauma bonds work. They do not respond to logic because they were never built with logic. They were built with chemistry and repetition. Understanding this is not about excusing what he did. It is about releasing yourself from the guilt of still feeling something. You are not choosing to miss him. Your nervous system is still detoxing from a cycle it was conditioned into, sometimes over months, sometimes over years. And just like any detox, it takes time, and it can feel uncomfortable before it feels lighter. So what actually breaks this cycle? The answer is not more willpower or more distraction, although those can help temporarily. The real answer is consistency of a different kind. Every day you go without contact, without checking his social media, without replying to a message that reopens the door, you are giving your nervous system a new pattern to learn. A pattern of stability instead of chaos. A pattern where peace does not have to be earned through pain first. It will not feel dramatic at first. It will feel slow, maybe even boring compared to the intensity you got used to. But that boredom, that steadiness, is actually your nervous system healing. It is relearning what safety feels like without the crash that used to come afterward. In the final part, we will talk about how to actively support this healing process and how to know the difference between missing him and truly wanting him back. If you have felt even a little less alone hearing this, please subscribe to the channel. There are more women here walking the same path, and this space exists so none of you have to walk it in silence. Now that you understand why you miss him, let's talk about what to actually do with that feeling, because understanding it is only the first step. The next step is learning how to sit with it without letting it pull you backward. The first thing to know is that missing him and wanting him back are not the same thing. You can miss the comfort, the routine, the feeling of being chosen without actually wanting the relationship back. Ask yourself honestly, are you missing him? Or are you missing a specific feeling he used to give you sometimes? Usually, it is the second one. And here is something important. That feeling was never truly his to give. It was always inside you. He just knew how to access it, and often how to withhold it too. This means the feeling you're craving isn't gone forever because he's gone. It's still available to you, just not through him. Learning to generate that sense of safety, worth, and warmth from your own life, your own relationships, your own self-trust, is the real work of healing. It is slower than a text message from him would be, but it is permanent in a way that he never was. One of the most powerful things you can do right now is start noticing the difference between longing and truth. Longing says, remember how good it felt in the beginning. Truth says, remember how you felt in the last 6 months. Both are real memories, but only one of them reflects who he actually was consistently. When you feel the pull to reach out or check on him, gently ask yourself which version you are actually missing. Most of the time, it is a version that only existed in glimpses, not a version he was capable of sustaining. Give yourself permission to grieve, but on your terms. Grieving a person who hurt you is not the same as grieving someone who was simply taken from you by circumstance. This grief comes with layers, anger, confusion, even guilt for missing someone who wasn't safe. All of that is allowed. You do not have to rush yourself into feeling nothing. You just have to make sure the grief moves forward instead of pulling you back into contact. Protect your healing environment. This means limiting anything that reopens the wound before it's ready. Mutual friends who update you on him. Old photos left visible on your phone. Playlists that still carry his voice in every lyric. This is not about pretending he never existed. It is about giving your nervous system real space to reset instead of being re-triggered every few days. And most importantly, start collecting new evidence about yourself. Every day you choose yourself over the pull to go back. You are proving something new to your own mind, that you are capable of choosing peace over chaos, stability over intensity, even when it feels less exciting at first. Over time, this becomes the new normal your body craves, instead of the cycle it used to be addicted to. You are not behind in your healing because you still miss him sometimes. You are simply in the middle of retraining a nervous system that was shaped by someone who was inconsistent at best and harmful at worst. That process takes patience, not perfection. If this series has helped you understand yourself a little more clearly, please subscribe to this channel. This is a space built for women rebuilding themselves after love that hurt more than it healed. And there is so much more here to support you as you keep moving forward, one honest day at a time.